Good morning, YouTube. Uh, I've been up for about since 1 this morning. It is actually 5 now, so I've been up for freaking 4 hours. I could have left, but I would have been there. I would have been at the shipper way too early. For folks that don't know, I am an over the road truck driver, trying to get the bills paid and get stuff done. Um, Welcome to Figure It Out Fridays. Thank God it's Friday. You name it, we claim it. Um, oh man, good, but shit, I done got wimpy lately. Need a little bit more cream. Oh, um, the sad part is I'm so used to these supplements now. I feel funny when I don't have them. But I done ran out of most of my supplements. I got to get some more B12 and vitamin C and all this other stuff but I mean, it helps. I just had some beet juice and ginger. It was a ginger, black pepper, and something else mixed. It just completely nasty, but hey, you know, whatever it's going to take, you know, I remember years ago, you used to think you're Superman. Not anymore. Things can happen and things do happen. And I want to make it home. I don't want to, you know, not yet. You can't stop it, but you know what I mean. Um, Normally I talk about a whole bunch of stuff real early, but I want to talk about something that happened to me yesterday. And I guess I'm getting to be a crotchety old man, and I don't care. But and I realized that I'm not going to be welcomed on a lot of the forums, um, especially the cruise forums, because everybody's all positive and that, oh, everything is all hunky dory and we're wonderful and we cruise and everything is, and they don't talk about the fights, they don't talk about the Karens, they don't talk about the hood rats, they don't talk about the people that don't act like they don't have, the kids that don't have no sense, throwing stuff off of balconies, running around like you ain't got no. Don't you say nothing to my child. I already know I'm not going to be welcome into all of the forums and the YouTube channels because I give you my peace of mind. You know what I'm saying? I let you know. But the fact is that I drive this daggone 80 foot, 75 foot, whatever foot this thing is. I wake up in the middle of the night, barren parking lots, piss smelling parking lots, because half of it's my piss because I'm a type 2 diabetic. I can't make it sometimes I park all the way at the end of the parking lot, all the way to the truck stop. So I got to do it. But that's the reality of my job. I drive in the middle of the night. I swerve. I'm doing all kind of stuff. I don't know what I'm doing half the time, but hey, I get it done. You know what I'm saying? I get it done. But when I'm ready to take my vacation, I want to have a good time. I don't want to act the fool. I don't want to black out. I just want to have a good time. I don't want my wife mad at me. I just want to have a good time. I want to relax. That last cruise we was on, I found a place on the deck and just was knocked the heck out. I just want to relax. But when you say stuff to people and you try to help them out, I'm not going to admit to anything, but I like alcohol. I've got alcohol. I like to drink, but sometimes I drink too much. That's why I'm married to a woman that don't like drinking. God's got jokes, but He wants to keep me in my place. But it used to be you could sneak stuff on cruise ships. If you got caught, there was a note in your suitcase. We have confiscated this. It's not allowed on the ship. Have a nice trip. And you're like, dang, I got caught. I remember seeing videos. You really got to search for them, especially over there on the West Coast. They had bars in their room, for Pete's sake. How much stuff they got onto the ship. But Carnival, because of social media, is trying to get away from that hood look. And it's not just black people doing it. My Caucasian brothers, everybody was doing it because, look, you spend your last dime, $3,000, or it's on a credit card that I'm just now paying off a cruise like 4 or 5 cruises ago. I got $300 more. I'm just not paying it off. I don't care, but I'm just telling you. And you're trying to save a little bit of money because these drinks, beers are $8 a pop, $8 a pop plus gratuities. Liquor is the drinks are from off the chain. Mixed drinks, $12, $13, $14. And you're trying to get a buzz, but common sense is telling you, okay, I want to get lit, but I'm over in Guy's Burger having 4 or 5 double cheeseburgers, soaking up all that alcohol. I'm wasting money. And I said all that to say this. Hey, Mike, what's going on? I said all that to say this. I was in a forum yesterday on YouTube. No, not YouTube, Facebook. And there's a new idea, or it's an old idea, I don't know, that people that cruise back to back. What do you mean? They do a 14-day cruise, say for like on the Mardi Gras, do a 7-day. And what happens on the 7th, they do 1 7-day, and then you come back into port, they escort you off the ship, you go into a waiting area for a few minutes, then they put you back on the ship for 7 more days. Okay? Where am I from? I live in Atlanta. I'm originally from Long Island, New York. I'm on a cruise ship, and they escort you off the boat, right? And let me explain this. You can buy duty-free liquor on the cruise ship and in the ports where you're not paying taxes on this liquor. But when you get back to the boat, you have to give that liquor to them, the bottles of liquor to them, and then what they do is they hold it to the last night. They bring it in your room, then you take it off the boat. Okay? This is why I'm explaining this. This guy is saying, if you're doing it back to back, when do they give you your liquor? Is it on the 7th day? Because he's thinking, okay, first 7 days, I'm going to buy some liquor, and then I'm going to drink it on the boat on the next 7 days. They don't want you drinking that duty-free liquor because you're taking away from their money. They want you to drink their liquor at their bars. It's a $1 billion industry for a reason. That's their rules. Okay? So if you try to bypass that now, because Carnival's thinking you're humiliating us, and so we got to take a stand, people that are sneaking liquor on board, they are banning you for life. So if you had enough money to You are back to back on Carnival. That means you like that ship. You like that boat. I'm trying to warn you. They are now looking. They are now looking. They have people that it's their sole job to search social media, and every time something goes viral, they have a way of finding who you are. You ever notice? Someone said that. I was like, wow, he ain't even lying. They got facial recognition. They got facial recognition on you. Good morning, welcome in. They got facial recognition on you. You got your faces in the computer. They take pictures of you. This new technology. So they'll check that video against facial recognition in their database. Like anything else, they'll find out who you are and what boat you was on and send you a letter and tell you you're not welcome to cruise a Carnival anymore. So I said, this is what I said. Good morning. Welcome in. This is what I said. Hey, I'm going to say it in black terms. Stop being a snitch. I'm going to say it in white terms. Stop telling on yourself. And I said that. I said, stop broadcasting your intentions. I wasn't disrespectful. And I explained what I just said to you guys in the audience. Stop broadcasting your intentions. If that's what you're going to do it. But then they came up with another idea. Have someone else, if you're doing a back-to-back and you meet a couple, have someone else buy liquor. Give them the money for it. And on that last night, get that liquor from them, then you have for the next week. And I'm telling you, stop telling on yourself. Stop telling, you're he's a moron. I said, you the stupid one. Whatever, whatever I'm going to admit to, and I ain't never going to admit to it. I stopped doing it. I'm going to say that. Because now they are banning you for life. Even though I'm done with Carnival, if I decide to go back, I can go back because I ain't banned for life. Make it make sense. I'm sounding like a fool, but you're the idiot. Make it make sense. I love to cruise, but if I spend $3,000 on a cruise and I get banned and I lose that $3,000, who's the idiot? Who's the moron? Me. My wife will never talk to me again. So make it make sense. That's probably what we're going to talk about. The main subject of today is make it make sense. Why is everybody? It ain't just black, it ain't just white, it's all ethnicity. Everybody just done went straight stupid lately. Done went straight stupid. This industry, you in a commercial vehicle. You in a commercial vehicle. You overstayed your play. You've overstayed your stay in the United States, but you're in a commercial vehicle. Exactly, Mike. Exactly. Exactly. But Mike, you already know my personality. What's normal to somebody hits me tenfold. And then I get upset. I was fuming yesterday. And it's so stupid. And it's my fault because I thought I was doing. I'm saying, hey man, stop telling on yourself. And then you get the same people, Mike. You get the same people that now they do another video and trying to call John Hill the ambassador of Carnival. Well, it was a mistake. Please reinstate me. I don't want to not cruise with Carnival no more. Really? You an idiot. I've seen some stuff. I've seen some stuff, and and you got folks. It's telling you got a problem. If you can't go 5 days, 7 days without hitting that joint or having marijuana or taking one of them the happy gummies, you it should. They got dogs. They walk around with dogs now. They walking around with dogs. You can't beat that dog. That dog smells something. When he spots, he's trained to it. He gets a treat when he finds it. He spotted it. He smells something. You get on some of these carnival ships, you gotta walk past the dog. Stop telling on yourself. It used to be you be they breaking on you'd be like a 12 pack of soda. They crack open the 12 pack of soda and checking every can now. That's ridiculous. Yeah, and I didn't know you can only bring one 12 pack. I thought it was per person. I lost a whole 12 pack of um, cream soda or whatever. It was funny. They even get to the point, they on some cruise and cruise ships you can bring a certain milliliter of wine. But we was on the horizon. You could not bring Taylor Port on there, and it was the right milliliter because it had too much alcohol. You're messing with their money. So you could get lit off of that little small bottle of wine. You're taking away from their money. They make the rules. Follow in there. What we're saying is, hey, I'm trying to warn you. If that's what you're gonna do, don't broadcast. Another thing I want to talk about. It's a sister. Make it make sense. Make yourself look like an idiot. Why are these old ships old? Hit that little button like they be doing. Look like an idiot. Why are these old ships look so old? What? Look at this room. It looked like a lodge from the 80s. Well, maybe that boat was made in the 80s. These these companies, guys, launch these boats. The only time that boat stopped moving is when it goes into dry dock. Good morning. Hey, good morning. Only time these boats stop moving is when it goes into dry dock. In the 80s, that thing probably cost 500 million, some $500 million. These what they do, they have to make their money. They have a board to follow. They have to make their money. They can't close down the rooms to revamp them or whatever. They're figuring out we're gonna run this boat till this date. After that, we might sell it to Margaritaville and see, or we are going to send it over there to Hungary or India or whatever, and have them scrap it. And the woman's just complaining. Hey, look at this room. Look at it. It looks like blah blah blah. But she said, but I didn't pay that much for it, so I'll deal with it. Then what you complaining for? We're going on our anniversary, Margaritaville at Sea, in February. It's gonna be hilarious because you got levels 1 to 10. I'm starting out at 0, going on Margaritaville. So I'm already saying, well, the room might be messed up or whatever, but we only paid $600 for 5 days. We're gonna be nickel and dime to death, but we only paid $600 for 5 days. Normally, I'm paying $3,000. Do you see what I'm saying? And we're going to Bermuda, no, the Bahamas, and no, we're not. We're going to Cozumel and another place in Mexico. I already know when I go to Cozumel, I'm gonna get me another skull tequila. I already know the place I'm going to. So, and they said, oh, they don't have a big assortment of food. Well, my big ass don't need it. You know what I mean? You make you not me, but you make whatever you're going through. You can make it pleasant, or you can make it just straight up horrific. I want to make it pleasant. You know what I'm saying? I just want to make it pleasant. Look, I remember not when it wasn't too short time ago, about you know the miles I need to get to survive. I'm catching up on bills. I got 300 left to pay off one credit card. Now and then I'm going to the next. I'm going to the next credit card to pay that off. I want to get 4 credit cards paid off so I could throw one on the Alaska trip on one credit card. So I'll have 4 paid off and 1 put back, but I'll have 3 paid off. I'll have 3 closed. You know what I mean? So I'm working hard. I'm going home for 2 days, and then I'm gonna stay back out till Thanksgiving. And then I'm gonna slow my roll. No, actually, I think after Thanksgiving, I'm gonna come back home around Christmas, and then after that, I'll figure it out. But what I'm saying is, I'm making moves, making changes. I'm looking at stuff, saving stuff. I'm doing Christmas shopping. I'm doing Christmas shopping out here. But I'm planning because I want to enjoy life like I deserve. And I agree with you. Okay. No. I want to address this. I agree with you. If you're spending all of that money, but the older ships, if you're spending all that money, go for a newer ship that you know is going to be this. Do your homework. Because of YouTube, you can punch in YouTube Margaritaville, no, Margarita. or um, carnival celebration, room 2210. And if it's in the database, you can see the room. I did the last three carnival ships. I think the last one I didn't do, but you could see what you're getting yourself into. Don't just watch one video. Watch the good, the bad, the ugly. Some people, there's certain people like um what are those folks? They're British guys. It's they're from the LGBTQ community. But if I want to know specifics about cruising, I'll go Ben and David. I'll go there because they are, no pun intended, they're anal retentive about everything. So if they'll tell you what the real deal is, and look at this, and look at the little corner, look at the little thing, they'll tell you all of that. And then I'll go to somebody else that I watch. And I'm like, oh, okay. So look for that, but it ain't as, and then when you get on there, you're like, it ain't as bad as you really think. But if you're only paying $500, you should expect $500 trip. So if anything's better than the $500, what are you bitching about? You see what I'm saying? And I agree with you. And that's all I'm saying. So right now, I'm already going. Everybody says Margaritaville Sea sucks. But then some of them said I had a great time. That's why I'm laughing. Because we gonna be, and one of them, they could hear the wind blowing in the cabin. Well, we got it. We got they could hear the wind. And I said, well, three or four of the ships, we slept the whole night with the door open to the balcony, locked in open position. See, it's what you make of it. One of the first cruises, half the toilets weren't working. I was like, oh man, y'all was on the poop cruise. I'm sitting there laughing because I've been through so much. I've learned to find the silver lining somewhere. Hey, well, I to find the silver lining somewhere in my situation. You got to. You gonna bust a blood vessel. You're gonna bust a blood vessel. And again, I'm not trying to. I just sound so negative, but I'm trying to sound positive. I'm trying to sound positive. I'll give you an example. We were on Utopia of the Seas, and I got locked out. I lost my key card. I got locked out of the room. There was a lady next. She did customer service. She was just complaining. The food, it just ain't good. And well, what was it? I don't know. The lady was like, I don't know. It just ain't good. Really? You can't even give them one thing. It was too salty. It was too peppery or something. All she said was, it just ain't good. And I'm sitting there, I'm laughing because I'm not on Carnival this time. I'm on Royal Caribbean. I'm sitting there cracking up. Really? Oh, Oh, I just seen what you said, Mike. And because on Utopia of the Seas, they had a Caribbean night. They had beef patties. They had oxtails. They didn't have kangaroo tails. They had straight up oxtail. They had everything Jamaican on there. The beef patties weren't flaky, but they were good. And I'm like, well, what was this lady complaining about? They had mounds of bacon. Not like Carnival where you pick up, they give you 2 pieces of bacon. Say, can I get one more, please? Like you're begging for food. No, they gave them a lot of freaking food. Hold up, I'm feeling funny. I think I my what you call it is low. Hold on. I know how I feel. Hold on. I know how I feel when my potassium level gets low. I get confusion and everything else. Take potassium pills. Start feeling confused and stuff like that. You know, but I'm just putting it out there just for shits and giggles anyway. You know what I mean? It's something to talk about. We instead of just yelling and screaming and stuff like that. You know what I mean? No, hey, did you see that? There's a guy. Okay, let's talk about that. All right, there's a guy in Texas that does Texas barbecue or whatever, and he's selling oxtails. Don't quote me on this because I don't. I'll probably get it wrong. It's somewhere around $200 for oxtails, and everybody's up in the uproar for this. But he's spending time when he's smoking these oxtails, he's doing all of this stuff to this oxtail. They must taste pretty darn good if someone's going to pay $200 for a plate of freaking oxtail. The 3 or 4 oxtails, it must be buttery, it must be phenomenal. But if I've had the money, I still wouldn't pay that, but somebody's doing that. Oh, okay. So shoot, that sounds good. But this is how we do. It's supply and demand. This guy buys cake. If you know what oxtails actually look like before they become the oxtails that everybody shows you on the plate, it's a big ass tail. You got to cut that mess up. It's 42 here, Mike. But someone got in there and said, some black folk, one of us got in there and said he he's selling kangaroo tail. That's kangaroo tail. You wouldn't know what a flank steak looked like if they showed you it on the table. If a butcher did it, you wouldn't know what a pork what a tenderloin looked like if the whole side of beef was on the table. Everybody says oxtail, but it comes from a cow. We don't have oxes in the United States. It's cow's tail. That was a poor man's thing. But now, and everybody's saying it's just Jamaican, but Southern black folks had oxtails too. I've never had it till a few years ago when Norma made it. But what I'm saying is, why do we always have to care somebody? I wouldn't pay that. Okay, you wouldn't. But they showed that man's big behind place. He's got to pay for that building. He's got to pay for that equipment. He's got to pay for that electricity. He's got to pay. He had like 30 cases of oxtails. He's got to pay for all that stuff. He's got to pay for the employees. He's got to pay for the advertisement. He's got to pay. Where do y'all think that's coming from? He's got to make that good enough so it'll sell for $200. I have a secret spot I found in my hometown that shows you could get like 10 pounds of oxtails, I think frozen, for $80. Norma bought it the last time. She bought a whole oxtail. I had to break out the sawzall. I have and y'all heard me say sawzall. I have a specific butcher sawzall that I only use for meat, and bleach it down and sanitize them when I'm done, clean it out, and but I have a specific sawzall for that, and wrap it up in plastic, and I don't put it in the garage. Okay. Yeah, and you're right, right? And you're right. But now it's a delicacy. And half the times you'll get bones. I'm not paying for that. I'll just get that case and have my wife cook it. I've had leftover oxtails in the truck many times. Many, many, many times. Yeah, exactly. And that's how the barbecue industry came about, to tenderize this stuff. But we will knock each other down, or we will, start a business, start a business, and they're like, man, that's good. And they just saying that, but is it really good? And half the time it ain't. Because my wife's like, well, we cook real good. Do we really? Look, you gotta get a stranger to come tell me. He just said, oh man, that's good. No, it's gotta be better than good. If I'm going to, do it and sell it and so forth and so on. You know what I mean? The best fun I have ever had was when we had cruised to Jamaica, and I love jerk, but I wanted to have jerk chicken in Jamaica. I was on a mission to find me some jerk chicken in Jamaica. I didn't care where I got it. And we found it. It was slightly dry, but when they put that jerk sauce on it, it was a 10 out of 10. And I was just happy that I actually had real jerk in Jamaica, on the island of Jamaica, in Jamaica. You know what I mean? Um, I just think and that's one place I want to go back to, but I want to go. I don't want to cruise there. I want to go there and stay a couple of days. You know what I mean? That's one place I would love to go back to is the island of Jamaica and actually stay a couple of days. That would be phenomenal. But who knows? Nowadays, who knows what what brings or whatever what we're going to um I'll be setting the clock in a minute to get going. Let's take a look here. Oh man. I'm gonna be doing a major lawn renovation come spring, so I'm gonna start buying this stuff now. And one of the things is the grass seed that I want, and they said it's real hard, so I'm gonna keep plugging my area. I'm gonna keep plugging the area. But I'm gonna buy one bag of this seed. It's like $160 for one small bag of this mess. But I'm gonna spread it out. I'm gonna be dethatching this spring. I'm gonna be working on my aerator when I get home, probably for Thanksgiving. I'm working on my aerator, and so I'll have two good aerators. Ain't that crazy? Two of them now. Two good aerators, and I'm gonna top dress the front. So there's this new smaller top dresser that I want to buy. It's like 250 if I get it from Home Depot, 300 if I do it by Amazon. Um, and then there's one guy I'm hoping he still has it. The same one he's selling. They're selling it for $79. Um, off Facebook Marketplace. I'm gonna see if I can get it. It looks brand spanking new. Still got the tag on it. So I'm gonna get all of this stuff, and then I'm gonna start doing in the spring when I'm home. Start doing like marathons of yard work and stuff like that, like 5, 6, 7 hour marathons. Just leave that camera on and then just run it. You know what I mean? Just run it. I bought some other stuff. There's I'm not gonna put a good camera out there. I got a $12 little looks like a GoPro, but I got it on TikTok shop. It's a suction cup that you could put outside on the door. I'm gonna put that on the door and then be running that little cheap camera and see what kind of videos I could get. Then I just ordered another one where I want to get out of the habit of while I'm driving messing with this phone and trying to make videos. So, well, like before I start my run, I'll put the camera. It's on a suction cup on the right windshield and drive down the road, let it run out, and then I could do shorts and stuff with that. I got to start um, thinking smarter, not harder. Start looking at angles and stuff for my videos. Um, I'm looking for a smaller camera. TikTok shop's got them. I could do 1080. Some of them say 4K. I'm gonna look and see which one that I want to get, and then I'm gonna start practicing with my gimbal. I got a gimbal for peace sake, but I don't use it. I gotta start practicing with it, and I gotta start doing a little bit more long content, um, but shorter, like above 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes, because everybody's uh, our attention spans gotten shorter, and we got to figure that crap out. What time? think I'm going. All right, I think I kind of I bottomed out for the day because I'm going quiet and I ran out of conversation. We done bottomed out for the day. All right, guys. Y'all have a blessed weekend. You guys have a good time. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for listening to my rants and my ravens. Look, let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. Someone said it. I said I agree with you. I spend this money. This is what I was looking for, and I understand. Um, and like I said, this is just my opinion. My opinion don't mean squat. Have your own opinion against anything and everything. If that's what you want to do it. If it's gonna make you happy, do it. Um, Coming up next, wellness with Frugal Mama. Get your workout on, positive affirmations. See you guys Monday. Cruising is fun anytime. Go live together um, at 9 o'clock with Eddie Lugo Studios. Miss T with the T at 9:15. You guys have a blessed day. I will catch y'all later. Thank you for listening. And as always, you don't think nobody loves you, know that I love you, God loves you. Stay blessed. Don't be stressed. And see you guys Monday. Deuces.